Doug Kide here with Zach Cox at First Energy Stadium in Cleveland, Ohio. And that game went pretty much as expected, I'd say. 33-13, Patriots win. Tom Brady, I didn't see any rust. He said he had rust. Did you see any rust?
Yeah, I think Tom Brady's being a little bit modest there.
Yeah.
Basically, that was the best possible performance the Patriots could have hoped for Tom Brady. I mean, really right from the start, too. He completed his first, I believe he went 4 for 5 on the first drive. The one incompletion was a drop. And then he just went from there. There was no signs of slowing down, no signs of the fact that he's been basically hanging out in Italy for a month and doing God knows what.
Yeah.
But, I mean, yeah, that was vintage Tom Brady today.
Yeah, it's funny because you can almost see what he's talking about, saying that, you know, it wasn't perfect. They scored 33 points, but he threw for 400 yards, 70% completion percentage, 3 touchdowns, 7 different receivers. I mean, you don't put up better numbers than that. So, yeah, I guess they could have possibly scored every single time they took the field, but that's not reasonable in the NFL, and this was about as well as it could have possibly gone. I think one of the most important things was just that he spread the ball around and he got it to some of those new receivers that he wasn't supposed to have that chemistry with. All 3 touchdowns went to Martellus Bennett. He threw for over 100 yards to Chris Hogan, threw 2 really, really nice deep balls to Chris Hogan. So I think they could actually kind of improve from here, as scary as that sounds.
Yeah, we were talking to Chris Hogan after the game. We were saying, so are you a deep threat now? What's up with this? And he's like, I don't know. Maybe if we keep going like this. But, I mean, that's what you get when you have a quarterback as good as Tom Brady. He makes everybody around him better. And I was really encouraged to see what we saw from Rob Gronkowski today.
Yep.
He sat out the first 2 weeks, was basically a non-factor in the last 2. Then he went over 100 yards today in his first game back with Brady. So I think we can say that Brady's back, and we can also say that Gronk is back as well.
Yeah, definitely. There was a lot of concerns that hamstring injury was supposedly worse than they expected. I don't think that was the case. I think they were just kind of playing coy there and waiting for Brady to come back. One last thing on the defense, I thought they were fine. Run defense was great, obviously. Allowed less than 2 yards per carry. I thought that Logan Ryan and Malcolm Butler both had good games finally. What did you kind of see from the defense?
Yeah, they had a couple little lapses there in the passing game, but the run defense was dominant. I mean, this was a team that came in ranked best in the NFL in running game. They held them to 27 yards on 22 carries. Can't really get much better than that. I mean, the only real drawback from this game a little bit was we're kind of concerned with Cyrus Jones. He let up that touchdown early in the game, ended up getting himself kicked out for an unsportsmanlike conduct. But, I mean, it's something that Bill Belichick, I'm sure, is going to harp on this week, but it's definitely a very small note in an otherwise positive performance.
Yeah, I think a lot of people expected the Browns to put up a slightly better fight, but those same people probably didn't expect Tom Brady to have the kind of performance that he did. So I think that this is kind of what we'll be used to seeing from Brady moving on here. And for Zach Cox, this is Doug Kide from Cleveland.